Chelsea won. West Ham won. We failed to win yet another game. Great. Absolutely great. We're now closer to Burnley in the table than we are to Tottenham and Liverpool. That just says it all. Hello there guys and welcome back to 100% Chelsea from a review of the Chelsea versus West Ham game. And like I just said, we drew the game 1-1. And, I'm not particularly happy. I'm really not. We can't finish. We can't, see out a lead. We're just bottle jobs at the moment. Like, we literally are bottle jobs. And whether you find that too harsh or whatnot, I don't really care. I actually think we are bottle jobs. Like, that's what the whole season has been. That's what basically every game is. Like, took the lead against Tottenham, lost 3-1. Took the lead against West Ham, drew 1-0. Took the lead against Barcelona, drew 1-0. Like, what are we doing? Like, nah, it's just pissing me off. But getting into it, starting off with the lineup, it was a 3-4-3. Thibaut Courtois was in goal, with Azpilicueta, Gary Cahill, and Antonio Rudiger as the back three. Andreas Christensen was set on the bench. No idea why Cahill was playing, but that's what it was. Marcus Alonso and Victor Moses two wing-backs, with N'Golo Kante and Cesc Fabregas as two central midfielders, with Hazard and Willian on the wings, and Morata starting up front. And I was disappointed not to see Emerson Palmieri start yet again. And I wasn't quite sure why exactly Christensen, a really young player, would be left out when there's basically nothing left to play for, and you can use those games just to help him gain more and more experience and become more and more comfortable. But, he wasn't a bench. But except Cahill starting instead of Andreas Christensen, it was basically the lineup that we expected, really, or that I expected anyway. And the game started off alright, because we had our first chance of the game within 3 minutes. Eden Hazard, when he took the ball from midfield right to the edge of the box and put his effort like an inch wide of the far post. So it wouldn't have been too bad, and we were certainly on top for the first 10, 15, 20 minutes or so. But we just didn't manage to create all too much. In the 14th minute, West Ham got their first real chance through Arnautovic from a Masuaku cross. Arnautovic took the ball down quite well, actually, and then got his shots away, but Cahill, thankfully just about got a block in, to Arnautovic's shot from close range. In just under half an hour, we got very close to getting the first goal after a great move by Hazard, who played a 1-2 with Fabregas and then played a low cross from the byline towards Morata, who then tried to backheel it into the far corner because it just came in slightly behind him. But the ball went just wide. And then in the 36th minute, a great chance for Willian after great play by Fabregas, Hazard, Morata and Willian himself. The Brazilian then ended up 1-on-1 with Joe Hart, but the keeper pulled off a very, very good save with his foot to keep it out and clear it for a corner. From that very corner, though, we did make it 1-0 through Cesar Azpilicueta. The corner was played short to Victor Moses, who was stood at the corner of the box. He put in a decent cross towards the far post, but Morata got his head to the ball, headed across the 6-yard box. But Azpilicueta kind of artistically controlled the ball and then poached the ball in from close range, and we definitely deserve to take the lead. And I just love Azpilicueta's, celebrations. He kissed the badge and then he tapped, the black armband we were wearing, obviously for, Ray Wilkins passing away, which is obviously extremely sad. The, minutes applause or whatever it was ahead of the game was incredibly moving. The huge banner that was put up on the shed was incredible as well. Was it the Matthew Harden? I think it was the shed. So, in the 8th minute, everyone stood out and clapped as well. Even the West Ham fans were clapping when it was sung, there's only one Ray Wilkins. So that was a nice touch by Azpilicueta as well to include that in his goal celebration, really. And then we had another one or two fairly close moments before the end of the first half. But that was then really it. We just didn't make enough of it. And that was then it for the first half of 1-0. And it was a decent first half. It wasn't great, but it was decent. Created a few chances, but not all too many either. And West Ham, without the exception of one or two moments, weren't really threatening us at all. Getting into the second half, it started off with a great chance for Willian very early on. After good play with Hazard inside the box, but Willian dragged his shot just wide of the far post. And I think he should have done better there. I think he should have put that away. And we were looking much more dangerous than West Ham in the beginning of the second half, creating a fair few almost moments and half chances, but didn't play it out well enough or ended, with a poor finish, really. That happened quite a few times the first 15, 20 minutes of the second half. And West Ham really weren't defending well at all. Like, we were all over them, but we just couldn't finish it off. Morata did actually make it 2-0 in the 58th minute, but he was called slightly offside. Rightly so, to be fair, but it was very close. He already had another goal disallowed in the first half already, but that one was a lot more close. That is why I didn't mention it earlier. And after that, the game slowed down a bit. We still played quite fluid football going forward, especially Hazard, Willian and Morata, but just weren't creating any real chances. Like, we just didn't finish it off. Like, we just didn't play our chances out well enough to actually create real chances. And then out of bloody nowhere, they just substitute Chicharito, makes it 1-0. Cahill with a poor clearing header, and Arnautovic picks the ball up wide inside the box, cuts it back to Hernandez, who put it in at the near post with a fairly easy finish for him. And, as it is basically every single game, our absolutely god-awful finishing is costing us. It's just costing us badly. And that's not just Morata. Please don't think that's just Morata because he's the striker. That is everyone in the team. That's the attackers, that's the wing-backs, that's the midfielders, everyone. Then in the 77th minute, Pedro came on for Victor Moses and Giroud came on for Morata, which had us change to a 4-4-2 or 4-2-4, whichever way you want to call it. And only 2 minutes after that, Joe Hart with an unbelievable save to keep out a very, very good effort by Alonso from just outside the box. But after West Ham scored, we were basically all over the shop. The lack of confidence and just being scared of not winning, let alone losing, was just so obvious to see, and it just took us another 10, almost 15 minutes, even though there wasn't even 15 minutes played basically, to actually get grips of the game again. We were just all over the place. And already into the last 10 minutes, N'Golo Kante actually came up with the tackle of the season inside the box against Marko Arnautovic to keep West Ham from taking the win even, which would have been even worse. I mean, not that the draw is great, but, losing to them again would just have been, so much worse. But thankfully, Kante actually did get that tackle in. And then Joe Hart with another top-class save very close to the end, this time to keep a header by Olivier Giroud out. Hart just about got his fingertips to it and steered the ball onto the post. And that was then relieved for the game at 1-1. And we took 23 shots. 23 shots we took that game. I think 6 went on target and just scored 1 goal. And I said it before in the video. We just can't finish as a team. We just don't know how to kill a game off. Blame that formation and blame the manager all you want. But the large majority of the blame has to go to the players as well. Like some of these chances and some of the decision making that's happening on that pitch is just absolutely ridiculous. And no matter what the manager says as a player, you still have your own brain. It's not like you're a bloody robot that just does whatever the manager says. That's not exactly how football works. So, some of it, a lot of it in my opinion, especially the decision making and the finishing of chances, just has to go to the players as well. Like, of course the manager has a part to play in the system as well. But, you can't excuse the players from criticism for these things. Like, it's an absolute piss take sometimes. We were so dominant, basically, until West Ham scored, especially in the second half. But we just don't know how to make use of it. And it's just pissing me off. It's been the same thing all season long. Yeah, sure, we've had spells in which, it went better and we won our games. Well, still, we hardly ever actually killed games off. And it's quite simple. Like I said earlier, we are bottle chops. That's just what it is. We've lost to every single team in London this season. Arsenal is the only one that didn't beat us in the league, but of course we lost to them in the League Cup semi-final. And we couldn't beat the relegation threatened West Ham in 2 attempts. Lost away from home, 1-0, and threw away a lead at home. Great. Just great. And ladies and gentlemen, like I said earlier, Chelsea is closer to Burnley in the table of the Premier League than we are to Tottenham and Liverpool. And that really just says it all. And I hope all of you can now finally accept the top 4 is now gone. Because after Spurs and in the preview to this, some people said, well, what if we win and Liverpool drop points against Everton and then we beat Liverpool? How are we going to beat Liverpool? Have you seen them play recently? And have you seen us play recently? Maybe we'll, pick up a miracle of a win against them. Fair enough. But until then, we'll drop another 10 points or something. You really think we're going to win at Burnley? I don't. Not right now, I don't. So, and I quickly just want to talk about a few players individually though. Morata, I thought did a decent job. A lot of people might disagree, but I thought he did. He fought for every ball basically, kept his own in the challenges, and did well in combination play. He got 2 goals. Yes, they were ruled offside, rightly so. But, I still thought he's looking a lot better than he was, say, a month ago. N'Golo Kante, as usual, was, he was good, very good. Azpilicueta got the goal and played quite well. Didn't really see him making any mistakes or, making silly decisions. But the rest of them, Moses, Alonso, Fabregas and Cahill, for that mistake especially, that led to the goal, awful. Like, them lot are just awful. They're just not good enough. Like, yes, of course they have good moments. They're still Chelsea players. They wouldn't be Chelsea players if they were full stop god awful. Still have their moments. Even Hazard, like, yes, he had these nice flicks and nice passes and nice combination play, but sometimes, he just dribbles right into the opponent. Like, that's what he's meant to be good at in the first place. Then his shots aren't all that great. I'm not going to put all of the blame on Hazard today, but still, it's just not good enough. It's just not. And we didn't even start Emerson Palmieri, a young player we signed in January, to give him some experience and a chance to improve. And all of that, just to draw against West Ham, great. Absolutely, totally worth it, isn't it? Absolutely worth it. Nah, lads. I'm proper done. Leave me all of your thoughts on the game down in the comment section below. Any other thoughts you have, leave it down in the comment section below as well. Leave a like if you have enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out my social media with this last 1507 on both Instagram and Twitter. As you can see over here, I'd massively appreciate it if you could follow me over there. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to 100% Chelsea if you haven't already. We would massively appreciate that. But alongside that, please also do make sure that you hit that notification bell button as well. Do make sure you select to be, notified of every upload of every video, because that's just YouTube at the moment. Just subscribing isn't enough. Just subscribing doesn't tell YouTube that you actually want to see that channel's content. You have to do that as well to actually realise when we upload. And it's just frustrating for us if people that subscribe to us don't actually know that we're uploading. So if you could click that notification bell button and subscribe, that would be absolute class. Thank you guys for watching. It's always going to be upwards and onwards because we love that club. Up the Chelsea. And I'll see you next time.